All right, now I would like to talk to you about some of the financial terms in the restaurant industry. I don't want to overwhelm you. This certainly isn't a math class, but there are a lot of financial terms in this industry. And if you plan on going into management in any area of the hospitality industry, you definitely want to have some understanding of accounting. So I would encourage you to take at least an introductory accounting course, if not a managerial accounting course as well. So I'm going to talk to you about expenses. Fixed expenses are expenses that do not change based on sales. So the rent, you're going to pay the same amount in rent every month, whether you have 2 customers come in or 100 customers come in, right? Your manager's salary, you're going to spend the same amount on your manager's salary every month, whether it's busy or not. Obviously, if it's not busy and your manager doesn't do anything to increase sales, they may not be there long. You may fire them, but their salary is going to be set every month. And things like your internet bill, those are going to be a flat rate. You're going to pay $100 a month or $200 a month, whatever it is, every month, whether you use it or not. Then variable expenses are expenses that change based on sales volume. So things like your labor numbers, your labor costs. You're going to, if you're busier, you're going to need more employees. You're going to need them to work longer hours. And so you're going to have a higher labor cost because you have higher sales. Your utility bills, if you are busier, you're probably going to be using more water to cook and wash dishes and things like that. So your water bill is going to be higher based on the fact that you have higher sales, as well as your food costs. Obviously, if you're providing food to more customers, you're buying more food to serve them. So your food costs are going to be higher. Those are variable expenses. Controllable expenses are expenses that the manager has control over. Things like your labor, you obviously have the option to schedule your staff accordingly. You can plan how many hours you want the staff to work each day. If you need to send people home early, if it's slow, you have control over that. Your marketing expenses are also controllable. You can decide how to promote your business, whether you want to put an ad in a local newspaper or on a local radio station, or whether you want to pay to have an employee go out on the corner and wave a sign to promote business, right? As well as maintenance. You also have control over your maintenance expenses. Obviously, if the fridge breaks and you need it up and running as soon as possible, because you can't run a restaurant without a fridge, you have to do it right now. But your deferred maintenance, things that you're keeping your equipment up and running over time, and you're just doing routine upkeep on things, you have control over how you spend that money. One other thing I want to talk to you about is cost ratios. So restaurants have targets for their food costs, for their labor costs, for their beverage costs, for their supply costs. There's all kinds of different ratios that a restaurant will have, kind of a set goal of how much those expenses are going to be as a proportion of their sales. So these will vary depending on the type of food, the level of service, or the price point of a restaurant. Within different businesses, there will be an acceptable range for these expenses. So at Firehouse, our labor goal was between 18 and 20% of sales. So my goal, I don't know what my sales are going to be, right? I'm hoping I'm going to make, let's say, $20,000 in sales this week, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know that the customers are going to come. So I'm going to write my schedule and staff my employees to approximate 18 to 20% of that sales goal I have, but I can't be sure that's going to happen because I can't control the sales, right? I can't control how much money I make. So I would shoot for that goal and hope for the best and then adjust accordingly. If it's really slow one day, send people home to help save that labor money for another day when it might be busier. Same with food costs. You're going to shoot for a goal of your food costs, but certain items have a higher food cost than others. So at Firehouse, our meatball sandwich was really profitable. The food cost was very low, but we could still charge a good amount of money for it, comparable with the other sandwiches. So when we sold meatball subs, I was happy because I knew I was making more money per sub on a meatball sub than on, say, a beef brisket sub. But I can't control what customers order, so my food costs are going to vary depending on what they order and what I have to buy, right? So you always have these approximate goals. Your cost ratios are goals that you're trying to hit, but you can't always control what people order or how many people come in, so you can't always control those costs, but you try to shoot for those ratios. So that's some of the financial side of the restaurant industry. If you have questions on any of these, let me know.